to week 4's nutritional tip of the week. We're going to be covering food, but really what I want to talk about is kind of digestion and just being mindful when you eat. There's one thing eating, there's one thing really remembering what you ate. So chewing your food really, really well will help with digestion. So every time you chew, the digestive process begins. So your enzymes in the stomach start getting prepared to break down food. If it's breaking down food better, you're going to absorb the nutrients better. If you absorb the nutrients better, then your body will become more balanced with regards to the good stuff that it needs to obviously help you lose fat long term. So one is your chewing, so make sure you're chewing really well. The other one I would say is be really mindful when you do eat. So when you are eating, sit down at a table, or if you like to sit on the floor, sit cross-legged and sit at the table, that is fine. But try not to have any distractions around. Try not to have the television on. Try not to be on your laptop or your iPad. Try and sit either with people if you can. If not, and you're on your own, that is fine. But be really mindful about what you are eating. The mindless eating just basically means that the brain doesn't really know what's happened. So there's no connection between the brain thinking you are full and the stomach thinking you are full if you're not really in kind of a relationship with the food that you're eating. So be really mindful when you eat, chew well, be present with your meals, have it start with the family. You know, no one around should be watching any television or on their laptop or playing games when they're eating. Be really connected with the food and your body will thank you for it. It will take all the goodness that it needs, it will take the goodness that it wants. Your body will be relaxed and in a fantastic state to absorb nutrients and burn fat. I really hope that helps you guys. Okay, so your week 4, it's your final lifestyle tip through this series, and I really want to talk about sleep. So I'm sure we've heard or read before how sleep is important for weight loss. It really helps with balancing hormones. It gets the body recovered from all the tasks of the day before, but also helps us recover for all the tasks of the day to come. So we know about sleep. Aim for your 7 to 9 hours, ideally, if that really works for you. Some people say, I survive on 5, or some people say, I need 10. To be honest, if you feel recharged, then go for it. Do what works for you. You do need a certain amount of hours though for all the things to reset in your body, for all your organs to be cleansed. So try and get that long sleep. Don't see it as a bad thing. You know, it's as long as you feel recharged in the morning, then you're good. But also the quality of the sleep is really important. One thing we hear a lot is, I can't fall asleep. So the environment, once again, same as we spoke about with the eating, the environment in which you will fall asleep in will affect your quality of sleep. So before you go to bed, an hour before, dim the lights. Make sure that maybe you just have lamps on, something that's kind of dark. It gets the body ready for that kind of shut-eye process. Make sure that in your bedroom you are not using your laptop or your phone right before you go to bed, because believe it or not, that screen, the light from the screens, that actually tricks the brain into thinking that you're not ready to go to bed. It's not very good for the brain. It doesn't keep the brain very calm. So what we want is no electronics, no phones, no iPads, no laptops. If you can, try not to have a TV in the bedroom. Try not to leave anything plugged in the bedroom, especially by your head. Just so the body's in a state that it can be calm. It's also known as well that the body will absorb these sort of transmitters through the electric process, things being plugged in, so that won't keep the body in a calm state. Making sure that your bedroom is dark, it's pitch black, so maybe using blackout blinds, maybe sleeping with an eye mask, maybe having the door closed, maybe sleeping with earplugs, really to try and get that as deep sleep as possible. That will keep the body calm. It will help with your insulin, it will help with your cortisol levels. Once again, all these hormones, once regulated, lead to fat loss. So give yourself a nice calm, peaceful, dark, quiet environment to fall asleep in, and just watch how the waistline starts to trim down. Hope that helps, guys. Thanks so much.
Okay guys, so here's your week 4 training tip. This one's a huge one. I talk about it a lot. It's training with intensity, or some people just call it quality over quantity. Common mistake a lot of people have, especially when trying to lose weight, or really or any goal they have, is going at it in kind of a wrong, the effort is put into a wrong direction, which is working out for a long period of time. So being really proud about being in the gym for 2 or 3 hours, as opposed to working really hard for 45 minutes to an hour. There's a huge difference. If you're able to work out, do a workout for about an hour, hop onto your phone and text a few people and go back and do another class or do another workout, the first workout probably wasn't very hard. If you're able to have a conversation, hop on the phone and actually speak to someone in between your set, you're probably not working very hard. So intensity is extremely important. It's one of those variables people don't talk about too often. You hear things talked about sets and reps and the exact exercises and what exercises do what and what type of muscles you're working and what you're trying to build, which is great, and you got to know all that stuff. But if that's done without any sort of intensity or any effort, it's pointless. Someone doing heavy squats that are heavy and they're exerting a lot of energy and working to close to 100% capacity is going to get a lot more than someone doing kind of half squats and not working hard. So they can do the exact same amount of sets, the same amount of reps, the outcome is completely different. So intensity is that one variable that is really difficult to measure, and only you as an individual can measure your own true intensity that you're outputting in your workout. So be honest with yourself. Are you working extremely hard? You don't have to work 10 out of 10 all of the time. Your recovery is going to dictate how hard you can work. So recovery is extremely important, and it's another subject altogether. But when you are working out, make sure part of it is intense, and you're working hard, and you're sweating, and you're out of breath a little bit, and your muscles are feeling it. There's nothing to be proud of in working out for 2-3 hours and walking away like it was a piece of cake and it was easy. That is not the point. And the fitter you get, it doesn't mean the easier it gets. It means the harder you're working and the more capacity you have to make it more intense. So remember to train with intensity and train extremely hard. All right, and your last supplement tip for the program is vitamin D. So vitamin D you hear about a lot. We know it comes from the sun. It's one of the biggest deficiencies most of us have, especially being in Canada where winters are so long and dark and not a lot of fun. To be quite honest, we want to be out in the sun and getting some of those vitamins and just feeling good in the sun. If you don't have access to a lot of the sun, or you're not outside a lot due to work, supplementing with vitamin D is extremely important. It's fairly inexpensive. Vitamin D I'll touch on just being deficient in any vitamin in general. So usually being deficient is linked to feeling sluggish, feeling tired, not having much energy. When the body feels that way or the mind feels that way, usually it's going to turn to food to make it feel good, or coffee to make it feel good, get that energy boost, when really the issue is a mineral or vitamin deficiency. So a lot of overeating comes from someone being deficient in a vitamin, and a lot of time vitamin D is that issue. So you can think, if I'm feeling tired, I need a coffee. I'm feeling sluggish, I know I'd feel so great if I have that burrito or that burger right now. It's going to make me feel really good, really happy. Where the answer is, I need some vitamins, and that's actually going to make me feel better. So vitamin D is super important. So that's one way it's going to help you with fat loss if that is a deficiency. So I'd say, if there's any concern or you're not sure, get blood work done. Speak to your doctor. Ask if you do have a vitamin deficiency. Find out, okay? If you're someone that's indoors a lot and doesn't get out in the sun much, odds are you have a vitamin D deficiency. If you're eating clean, you're eating well, you're getting a lot of it from foods, but there's nothing wrong with topping it up a little bit with some supplementation. As far as fat loss, actually something I learned recently is they did a study in Laval and they found that supplementing with vitamin D and calcium actually helped reduce cortisol, which actually helps reduce belly fat. So sometimes belly fat stored around the belly, this area, sometimes you can do whatever you want. You could sprint, you could run, you could weight train, you could eat super clean. Sometimes that won't go if you're kind of a high-strung individual, deal with a lot of stress at work or at home, or just a very stressed out person in general. You want to make sure you're bringing that cortisol down. So doing all the lifestyle tips that Alicia shared, doing all the tips we've shared in this whole program is going to help with that. But sometimes work is work and you can't help that. So you got to combat that and just make sure you're not deficient in any one thing. So vitamin C has been known to help reduce cortisol. But an interesting thing now is vitamin D is actually going to help with that. So D combined with calcium is going to help reduce cortisol, which in turn is going to help reduce belly fat. So there is your last supplement tip.
Okay guys, so there we have it. That is your 4 weeks kickstart to your optimal fat loss. Thank you so much for watching. We really hope you've enjoyed it.
And I hope you guys really take all this information and use it to the best of your ability, and it really accelerates that fat loss. In the meantime, as you're going through this, or if you finish it, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to contact your coaches. We'll be happy to help you guys. You can email us at info@thebootcampfactory.ca, or you can go on our website, www.bootcampfactory.ca. Thanks guys.